This was 40 bucks. Let's take a look at Nick's van. He's pretty much built this the way he wants to, and we're just adding on to it, so it shouldn't be too bad. 33 and 1/16. I made a mistake. I made multiple mistakes. Oh man, I just wasted. So today I'm just out getting a few things. I bought some thread at the store because I was out of black. And next up is I'm going to a metal shop because I need to get something for my van. But in that fabric land back behind me there, you guys, I just saw some really cool looking upholstery material. And it got me thinking about reupholstering the seat in my van. I've never seen that stuff before in any fabric store, and they have it in there. It's 50% off. It's $47 a meter, so it's quite expensive. So I'd have to pre-measure it all out and see if I can do it. But I'm gonna go back home and look at all my seat covers and sort of see if that's something worth pursuing. And I know you're probably wondering what's going on with that sauerkraut that I have got going on. I haven't checked it, and it's been about 4 days now. I think, no, 5 days. It's been sitting in there for 5 days and I haven't even looked at it. And you guys, I can't smell it at all in here, which is great. Anyway, I'm gonna head on to the metal shop. Okay, there it is. It's a 6x6 piece of metal, and it's gonna go right here so that my camera mount can go boom and magnet to it, because I'm gonna be losing this magnet surface up here. Take this into the shop. You guys, I did a number on the shop. So I put a pink foam board on top of this workbench, just because that's a nice material to cut on. I've already used a skill saw on it once. That's that, put that right up there for now. So set that guy up later. And glue, and I'll show you this thing. I needed a new one of these. I've had this one here, which is a 3/8 one, for a very long time. I'll probably still hang on to it, but it's pretty dull. And well, I needed a new one. And it's not cheap. This was 40 bucks for this little thing. But there's more expensive ones too. So that's it, brand spanking new. That is an awesome little tool. Anyway, I'll put that in there with my other bits. I know it's not the best way to store all these, but that's how I do it. So I think the next project in here for me is this piece of metal right here. And that's turning that into a new camera mount. Oh yeah. let's take a look at Nick's van. So last time I was in here, I did his electrical system and I got all the main stuff done. He ended up adding another battery. He really wanted to do that. So he's now got 4 batteries in parallel. And this bundle of wires here, this is where I kind of left things off. This is everything that's needed inside this kitchen galley. And that's what I'm going to start on next. And then there's another bundle back there in the back. So that's going to be for rear service of the vehicle. It's always like a bit different, like for me to work on somebody's van, because I'm coming into the project and Nick wants me to finish building it out. He's pretty much built this the way he wants to, and we're just adding on to it, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's just going to be like figuring out how to attach a few things here and there that will need to be addressed. Anyway, I'm going to dive in. This is the cabinet here that I'm going to build. So we've already figured out exactly how far he wants it to come over. So from here it's going to come over like 34 inches, and there's going to be a sink right here. We'll have to do some wiring obviously and some plumbing, so there's a bunch of that sort of stuff. He's got a big water tank that's sitting in behind this thing here, so that'll have to be plumbed in. And then of course his shower. So we've got a full-size shower in here, and the plumbing will have to come up and over. And on this side, that's just velcroed on. There will be a water mixer right here or somewhere in here, and a shower head, all that stuff. I've never installed that kind of stuff inside a van. I put it inside buildings and stuff like that, so it'll be interesting, but I haven't, when it comes to the plumbing, guys, I don't have a ton of experience with that. I can put the connections together, but I don't have a real solid understanding about flow rates and all that sort of thing. And Nick's got an idea that he's already discussed with me, and I'm a little concerned about it because I don't know, but he seems to think everything's sized appropriately. So we're gonna run with it. Anyway, let's get started. So the first thing that I ran into is that this cabinet back here is not square. The back is actually in more, and it's coming like on an angle like this towards the middle of the van. That's an exaggeration, but it's doing that a little bit. So if I were to continue on this line and go straight, I draw it and it comes out here. What ends up happening is this hallway gets shorter right here and it's wider here. So it's kind of goofy, and he's already set this up for his bed. So I'm not going to mess with this in the back because his bed piece is cut to fit perfectly in this space. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to correct that, and in the back it's not really going to matter so much, but up here it will. So we're just going to sort it out, make it look good. Okay, so what I did there was I had this thing here squared up with the floor. I'm just measuring like where this wall is going to be. He wants it to come right to the door gasket like that. And so that'll be this wall here, and it'll fall down right onto here. So I need to trim this back, and I drew a line on here where that would be. But what I got to check now is I got to make sure that when the door closes, there's not something in the door that's going to come in and interfere with this being like right here, for example. So I need to test this out all the way along. Now I'd use something like this for this, but obviously I can't because of this little piece right here. So what I'll have to do is just make a little jig. I'll probably just cut a piece of plywood and do it out of that. And that's square there, so I'll use this at the bottom. I've got about an inch clearance, which is really ideal. Technically, I could probably go and grab like another ½ an inch or something like that. If I do that, he's not going to be able to service his door gasket and replace that. So there's really no sense in covering that up like that. So we're going to leave it just like that at an inch. And if he wants to eat up a little bit of this gap when the door's closed, he can make his counter come out a little bit further than what it is, you know, if it was just square. I made a mistake. I made multiple mistakes. Oh man, I just wasted a sheet and a half of plywood. And this is expensive plywood. It's probably going to be about $200 to replace everything. To be honest, I got started on this job today and I wasn't in the mood for it. And this is why this has happened. I don't know. I didn't feel like necessarily working on Nick's van today, but I dove into it anyway, and yeah. Anyway, let me show you what I did. After I made these vertical pieces right here, I cut the piece off that I needed of the 1/2 inch for the top. And I ended up cutting it at the same length as this, which is too short. And so there it is right there. So I had to remake it. And I remade it. And there it is right here. Right? And we got the sink cut out of it. It doesn't matter that this is rough here. It's just, it could be any kind of plywood at this point in time. But this is messed up. I realized what's going on with this one is that it's wider here and it's narrower over there. And somehow when I cut this thing with this, where is that? This thing here, this tool right here that you snap onto the edges of the plywood. I had it off a little bit, basically like that, and it ended up cutting that right into that piece. And I didn't realize that until just now after I'd done all that work with the sinkhole. Anyway, so those two pieces were messed up. And that's all I thought I did. That was it. And so then I moved on to building the cabinet and getting these verticals put on. And I started putting those on and everything was going good until I came out here and dry fitted it and realized it's an inch shorter than what it needs to be. So these were actually the first pieces that I made a mistake on. And I did this 3 times over because I made 3 of these pieces. Altogether, that's a sheet and a half of plywood. And I can't salvage anything from the other bits of plywood, so the project kind of needs to go on hold until I can go get some more plywood. Anyway, I just shared all this information with Nick. He's busy working right now, so we're gonna figure it out, go get some more plywood and stuff like that. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna take a break from what I'm doing here with the van stuff. I'm gonna work on something else for myself. Yeah, I don't know. It is sunny out too. It'd be nice to go fishing, but I don't think I'm doing that today either. I gotta fix something with my van before I drive it anywhere, and I don't really want to get into that right now. So I don't know what I'm doing. Lunch break. So I got a dandelion salad with some tomatoes, olive oil, salt and pepper, and Parmesan cheese. That's it.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within, calling this heavy load got under your skin, hauling. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors around.
Well, at least this worked out. That was a little containment system for the off water that spills out of the bottom of these sprouting jars. And that's gonna fit in my drawer. Okay, this piece is all dry. Good to go. Got the marks on there, but that's fine. Yeah, so I'll go get that in the van. Perfect. We're doing this right here. See? Magnetic. So now when I drive and I want to shoot a driving shot, I just go like this and I can pick my lens and just hit record and off it goes. And then I can move this around to get different angles like that. Yeah, that's pretty great. And then if something happens on the road as I'm driving and I get out of the van real quick, I just grab this whole rig and off I go. Then I can take it back and just boom, put it in. So that's pretty great. Yep. It sticks there really, like really good. That's pretty solid. And of course I got the sprouting system here, which is really great. There we go. So that is gonna fit in the drawer back here. And I just spent like the rest of the afternoon cleaning up Nick's yard, and I'm having one of these, which feels really nice. But yeah, went and cleaned up a lot of this stuff. This is a big junk pile right here that's got to go to the dump. And there was just a lot of things in there. I just felt like doing something, and it was a nice kind of labored work that felt really good for the soul. Anyway, that's it. I'm chatting with my friend Lonnie right now. Say hi, Lonnie.
Hi from Vancouver. To Folkley, ja?
To Folkley.
Hipsy. Fair vernieuwd. Ja? Ja.
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 Home sweet home. That was a good dinner. That was amazing, making that out in the garage. That's a first for me to cook in the shop. But now that the shop's all clean and stuff like that, and my van's right here, I much prefer doing that as opposed to using Nick's kitchen up in his house. It's nice to use their kitchen and stuff like that, but I love to give those guys space when I can, and I've been kind of making myself at home a little bit more than I probably should. So doing that out there feels way better. And the experience is a little bit closer to van life as opposed to like domestic life. And I don't know, there's something about it that just appeals to me. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. So yeah, I mean, I totally botched that sheet of plywood, and I'll have to get another one. I told Nick it's not a big deal. He's like, don't worry, well, I'll go get it, and that's fine. So I'm gonna pay for it though. And there's enough 1/2 inch left to do everything, and I should be able to not need to go get another sheet of 1/2 inch, provided I don't make any more mistakes. That being said, there was an issue I was having in there with one of the tools that's slightly out of square, so I'm gonna calibrate all that tomorrow and just make sure everything's perfect, because I don't want to be doing any of that kind of mess ups anymore. But yeah, overall though, it was a good day. It turned out to be a good day. Having that fire was really cool, and cooking that meal tonight was really good. I got my heater over there is bumping away. I'm just setting up my bed, you guys. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everyone's doing well out there. Much love to y'all. Okay, bye for now.
Around.